This
Thunder
tower
rolled
will
across
pierce
the red
the
skies.
sky,
Thousands
and
of
I
people
will
stood around the
sit
giant tower
among
rising
the
above the earth like a
gods.
mountain made by human hands. Drums echoed, men shouted orders, women carried baskets of clay bricks on their heads, children pointed at the sky in fear, and at the top of the tower stood a proud king dressed in royal embroidered robes, beads around his neck, and a leopard-skin crown. He raised both hands toward the heavens and declared, "We will rise above the clouds, we will make our name greater than every tribe on earth." But heaven was listening, and before the sun would set, no one would understand each other anymore. Long after the waters of the great flood disappeared from the earth, families spread across the land. They settled on a wide fertile plain surrounded by baobab trees, dry grasslands, and flowing rivers, a place inspired by the ancient savannas of northern Nigeria. The people lived in unity, everyone spoke one language, they traded together, they farmed millet and yams, blacksmiths shaped iron tools over open fire pits, women wore colorful woven wrappers and coral beads. Men dressed in flowing traditional robes with leather sandals. At night, elders sat around fire circles telling stories beneath the stars. The people became many, villages turned into cities, and soon unity became power. In the center of the great city ruled a powerful leader named Zereb. Zereb was admired by many. He was tall, fearless, and ambitious, but deep inside his heart, pride was growing like wildfire. One evening, Zereb climbed a rocky hill overlooking the city. Torches burned below him, drums played in celebration, thousands gathered to hear him speak. Zereb stretched his staff toward the heavens and shouted, "Why should heaven remain far above us?" The crowd murmured, "We are strong, we are united, nothing is impossible for us." The people roared in agreement. Then Zereb spoke the dangerous words, "Let us build a tower so high that it reaches the dwelling place of God Himself." The crowd erupted with excitement. They beat drums, blew long animal horns, women danced in circles, warriors lifted spears into the air. That night, pride entered the heart of the nation. The next morning, work began. Massive clay pits were dug into the earth, men mixed mud with straw to make hardened bricks, fires burned day and night in giant ovens, caravans transported stones from distant lands. The tower grew quickly. It became larger than any structure the people had ever seen. From far away, travelers could already see it piercing the clouds. The people became obsessed with it. Songs were written about the tower. Children were taught that their city would become greater than heaven itself. Even the elders who once feared God began praising human greatness instead. Zereb walked proudly through the construction grounds wearing golden bracelets and embroidered royal garments. People bowed as he passed, and every day he declared, "Soon the heavens will know our name." But among the people lived an old elder named Jotham. His beard was white with age, his walking staff was carved with symbols of faith passed down from Noah's generations. One evening, Jotham stood before the workers and warned them, "Pride blinds the eyes of men." The workers laughed. Jotham continued, "You build with unity, but your hearts are no longer humble." Zereb stepped forward angrily, "Old man, you speak fear because you are weak." The crowd mocked him, but Jotham lifted his eyes toward heaven and whispered, "God sees what man hides." Thunder rumbled in the distance, yet nobody listened. The tower continued to rise. One night, dark clouds gathered over the city. The wind became strange, torches flickered violently, dogs barked, babies cried, and high above the tower, heaven moved. The next morning, workers returned to construction. A man carrying bricks shouted, "Bring more water." But the worker beside him stared in confusion. "What did you say?" The man frowned, "Bring water." But suddenly, the word sounded unfamiliar. Another worker spoke, but nobody understood him either. Panic spread instantly. Men argued, women screamed, builders gave wrong instructions, workers dropped stones, fights broke out everywhere. The language of the people had changed. The once united city descended into confusion. One tribe could no longer understand another. Friends became strangers overnight. The marketplace turned chaotic. Farmers argued with traders, builders shouted at laborers. Warriors fought each other in frustration. Even families became divided. Zereb climbed the tower trying to restore order. "Listen to me," But the crowd stared blankly. Nobody understood him anymore. For the first time in his life, Zerub felt powerless. The unity that once made them strong had vanished in a single moment. And the great tower stopped growing forever. Days passed, the fires of construction died out, tools were abandoned. The unfinished tower stood silently beneath the sky like a broken monument to human pride. Groups of people slowly gathered their belongings and scattered across different lands. Some journeyed toward forests, others crossed rivers and deserts. New tribes were formed, new languages were born, and the city that once dreamed of touching heaven became known as Babel, the place of confusion. Zerub stood alone at the base of the unfinished tower. Dust blew across the empty grounds, the chairs were gone, the drums were silent, his dream had collapsed, and at last he understood, no man can exalt himself above God. Pride can make people believe they no longer need God, it can make nations arrogant, it can destroy unity, families, friendships, and even entire kingdoms. The people of Babel were strong together, but they used their unity for pride instead of humility. And what pride built, God brought down. Pride comes before destruction.